What's up, guys? It's John with National Sports Entertainment, and I wanted to hit today's games real quick. We don't have a lot today, and this is specifically the NBA, and we're going to be doing one hockey play because it's an early game. If I find more hockey plays I like, I'll add to them, and I don't see any college plays I like. This is from last night. We had another really good night. Again, if you know the system, leg 3 is the most important. So we had two. We had the Mavs covering the Grizzlies, and they covered. And we just faded Cal State Fullerton. If you watched my last video, I said whoever is playing against them, we're going to play as a leg 3. Just because Cal State Fullerton's record against the spread was getting a little insane. And sure enough, they recovered. UC Santa Barbara did cover them. So 2-0 at leg 3s. That means profited a unit off each of those sequences. No net negative sequences for the day. And we've lost a couple leg 2s, but we won a couple as well. And more importantly, we closed 8 sequences in total. So good night. And like I said, I wanted to go into some of our hockey plays. And I wanted to go into just why I like some of these plays. So we just played the Bruins, and this is the only hockey play I have for tomorrow. We just played the Red Wings to beat the Bruins. Bruins did win, kind of typical, what you'd expect. 2-2 towards the end. But, of course, they're not going to pay out the 3-1, so the Bruins got the win. But now, that 3-1 has shrunk into about 2-1. So, I like the Bruins, fading the Bruins. I like the Red Wings again. So, I'm playing it as a leg 2. You can see it's plus 218. Of course, that might vary a little bit, but I'm going to play it here as a leg 2 for the Canucks not going under because they went way over. Oh, no, I'm sorry. They just went over. I think it was the Sharks, so one of them went way over. But, so Canucks, we didn't get that. So our leg 2 is going to be the Red Wings to beat the Bruins. And for a Red Wings loss earlier, like I said, that's how leg 2s work. You just plug one in. So the Thunder played a little bit later that night. We plugged them in, and they covered. So that sequence is a win. But we're going to try and get some plus odds on a leg 2. Now, the rest are specifically NBA, and there's only about 6 games. And I like them all for a pretty contingent reason. You can see the Wizards are playing. You can see the Pels and Blazers playing each other, the Thunder, Lakers, a lot of teams with playoff hopes. So, just running through it, we'll run through Nets, Nuggets. That can go either way. I do like the Nuggets. The Nets have been making this gimmick almost, whatever you want to call it, of being down and then coming all the way back and either winning or making it a game. They did it against the Celtics. They did it against the Bucks. And I think people are just going to start assuming that. So when they see 8.5 points, subconsciously, psychologically, I think more people are going to be on the Nets money line and for the cover. So I like the Nuggets here. Here I like the Hornets because I don't think the Cavaliers are like the Cavaliers only getting 7.5 versus the Hornets, whereas the Nuggets are getting 8.5 versus the Nets. I think the Cavaliers are much better than the Hornets than the Nuggets are than the Nets. So it's just a line that doesn't make sense to me. Maybe you in the comments you could let me know if you think, the discrepancy between the Cavs and the Hornets is as big of one as between the Nets and Nuggets. I don't think it is. Sure, the Hornets are at home, but don't forget Denver's actually scientifically proven to be tough to play in. So you'd think the Nuggets would be the lines don't really make sense to me. You would think the Hornets being at home would not make that much of a difference, but you never know. But either way, I think a lot of people are going to like the Cavs here on the money line and on the cover as well. So just like the Nuggets cover, I like the Hornets to cover. Next one's the narrative game, and I like the Sixers for the cover. If they had this at -4, that would kind of tell me, okay, they're going to give this one to the Wizards, but -8, I think a lot of people are going to be on the taking the 8 points here for the Wizards, trying to get the upset on the money line. And it's probably going to be one where they get pounded. Make the Sixers look, again, strong. There's always a team or two that they make look unstoppable, and it could be the Sixers and the Nuggets, tonight. Next, we got Blazers, Pelicans, and for the same exact reason we took the Thunder last night, it evened them up with the, who did they play last night? It evened them up with the, maybe it was 2 nights ago. We took a specific game, it was Pelicans. It was actually the Pelicans. They played the Pelicans last night. We took the Thunder because I noticed it evened their records up. Now, if the Blazers beat the Pelicans, the exact same thing happens, which means all these teams will be essentially tied, right behind the Lakers. So that's the reason I pick the games I do. A lot of times, that's why we'll go like 5-1 or 1-5. But using my system, it makes it almost impossible to lose long term. That's why we're up 123 units. I just counted before doing the video, and we're up to 123 net. But yeah, long story short, I like the Blazers here, and I'm taking the win because I'll take the plus 125, plus 130. Here it's plus 118. Okay, my book was actually giving me plus 130, so it's probably depending on if you're getting 2.5 points or 3 points. That can make a difference. If you look at Thunder Spurs here, it's 130, so that half point can make a difference. But for those reasons, I took the Blazers just to win. Usually I'll take points, but here it's a strong narrative, so I like the win. Same thing with the Thunder Spurs. It's a weird line. Not a lot of people here are going to be on the Spurs. It's dead even. People that take the Thunder are probably going to slam the money line, not wanting to lay 3 points, which doesn't sound like a lot, but a lot of people like to be safe. Probably won't have SGA, so I like the Spurs here for the win. I think the Spurs win, and I think that the Blazers win. And again, 1.5 points. I like the Knicks here for the win. Okay. Now, I don't have to tell you. If it swings to New York -1, then take the spread. Okay. If your books for some reason offering New York -1, take the spread so you can get even odds. I'm only doing the plus, the money line here because I think they win the game and I want to get plus on the money line. Same thing with the Spurs, same thing with the Blazers. I'm not going to do it just to do it. I'm not going to take the Sixers money line. You're not getting value. But if I'm getting value and it's enough, like if it's 3 points and I think it could go either way, I'll take the points. But if I strongly believe it's going to be a winner, like I do with the Blazers and the Spurs and the Knicks, then I'm going to go money line. So just to make it a little easier, I put everything in here just like I put it in my Discord every night. You can see Red Wings, I have them beating the Bruins. Now that'll be plus 218. Now again, just say between plus 205 to 245. And that sounds like a big window because they do that with hockey a lot. They'll move lines pretty substantially. Nothing crazy, but it's still going to be 200. But it might be, like I said, it might be 205. It might be 235, 240. But with hockey, I've even noticed them switch favorites to the other side. So now if you had -1.5 on the favorite, now you're getting the plus 1.5 odds. So a lot of things with hockey. That's why I don't play a lot of hockey, but I like to pick my spots. Nuggets playing as a leg 1. Like I said, Hornets, it's a really odd line to me. It just jumps out to me. So that's why I'm making that a leg 2. We could plug that in for the Hawks not covering the Celtics. And then another leg 2 I like here is the Knicks. They're going to beat the Lakers. You can see it's even odds. So whenever it's not your typical, spread game where it's going to be -105, -110, you're even with juice. Whenever it's a plus 100, or if it's minus, say like -120 or something, I'm always going to put that distinction in here that way because I always incorporate all that, whether we're laying juice, paying juice, just to make it as accurate as possible. I don't forget about juice. That's why it's always to win a unit. But anyway, so yeah, I always plug those in. Plus 218 would be nice to get on a second leg. Knicks might move a little bit, but as of now, and I'm going to lock it in pretty soon, probably going to be just right around even. Now, I like the Spurs to straight up beat the Thunder, and I'm making that a leg 2. And you can see it's only plus 130, but since I like it so much as a narrative game and because I think no one's going to be on it, and it's a leg 2, not as risky as a leg 3, I'll take it. And one plus 130 adds up. You'd be surprised, like I said before. Then we got a leg 3 here, the only one. Blazers, I like them to beat the Pelicans. And again, my book was 135. It's really going to depend. It might move. My point is you're going to be getting anywhere between, again, 115 and say 150. If they move, if it moves a point against the Blazers, obviously it'll be closer to like 150. So it really depends. But we're getting plus odds, which is what matters. And I made it a leg 3 because I just believe that they're going to win of all the teams the most because of them. It'll lock them up with the Pelicans and make the West just a complete shootout between these teams, which is what they want. Now, the one that I didn't go over, we got Vipers covering the Defenders. Very simple XFL logic, just looking at the spreads. And the only other one, I went over it in a video the other day. I thought they played today, but I guess they play tomorrow. Renegades cover. I like them to cover the Battlehawks. I thought that was I thought that was yesterday, but I guess it's today. So, yeah, Renegades cover the Battlehawks. That one I'm making a leg 2. So, yeah, really the goal here is not much different than usual. Blazers winning really sets us off where the rest of the games, they matter, but they're not going to be as imperative. And then we just really want to split the rest. We don't need anything crazy. Last 2 nights, we've netted 16